What's good? It's Jordan. Today I'll be talking to you about the dangers of the emotional trap. See, in this life today, we have to understand that we cannot get too caught up in our emotions. When we get too caught up in our emotions, we then decide to make mistakes outside of our character. We have to understand that many times we're going to have many various different situations in this life, especially in this modern society, where our emotions may get into play, but we cannot walk using our emotions as a way to actually fuel the negative aspects in this life that we may endure. We have to understand that at the end of the day, there's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times. Of course, in the good times, you may display positive emotions such as happiness, joy, excitement. But we have to understand as well that in the negative times, yes, you're going to have negative emotions like being angry, maybe fearful, anxious, all types of different negative emotions. But we cannot outwardly display these negative emotions because it can be worse if we do display these negative emotions. Sometimes we have to conceal these negative emotions, meaning we may go through negative situations, but we do not bring it to other people in a way where we may display our frustration and anger towards other people who may try to help us, who may be there to counsel us and guide us. But we also understand in the aspect of dealing with situations how conflict resolution can occur and how we can use our negative emotions to fuel ourselves in a positive way. Because through every situation, there's going to be an aspect where we can actually use that negative situation as fuel. Many times we want to look at the negative aspects of situations that we may endure or go through, and we do not want to actually look back and see where there was positive aspects out of that negative situation. But we have to understand in this life today that just being overly emotional and lashing out and not doing things under the guise of actually controlling your emotions and controlling self can be very destructive. You're going to deal with people in this life, whether it be in the workplace environment, whether it be in your own personal life, whether it be just walking on the street, going somewhere, running errands. You're going to deal with other humans in this life and in this world. And there's going to be people who try to, quote unquote, violate you in a way where they may cross your boundaries. They may try to say things to actually derail your process. They may try to actually destroy you through words. But we have to understand that when they try to do these things, they have their own problems that they're dealing with, and they cannot deal with their own problems, so they try to place their problems on you. What we should do is understand that dealing with these people, what we can do is tell them that we don't like how they do certain things. We can actually place boundaries in place where if we have to deal with these people, we deal with them in a way where if you're at a workplace environment, you get the task completed and you both go your own separate ways. Or in your personal life, if somebody disrespects you, you tell them that you didn't like that, like I said before. Or you can decide whether you want to keep that person around or not keep that person around. The choice is yours. But in everything, even in places where people try to assert dominance sometimes you have to be the individual to place boundaries there and show those people that, hey, you're not the person that they think that they can play around with, because sometimes people may play around with you in a certain way that you do not like because they may see that you may lack some qualities there and they may try to take advantage of you through those qualities. And this is with everything. The thing with human nature is if people feel like they're more dominant than you, they will try to take a hold of you. But you as the individual, you have to put those people back into their place, because if you do not, they will continue to do these things. And you know who's going to be hurt and affected by it? You are. You're the only person that's going to be hurt and affected by it, not the other person. The other person can care less, because why? They continuously do it to you, so they do not care about how you feel. But it's for you to stand up, to speak up, and to say what you need to say in that given time period or moment. Or what you also have to understand, what we also have to all understand, is there's different ways of checking someone and actually placing boundaries at hand. If you're going to deal with somebody and someone disrespects you, sometimes what you can do is at that given moment tell them that you do not like that. You don't like that they did that thing, and essentially they can choose to accept it or not. Or what you can do is think about it. Think about how you're going to approach that person. Think about how you're going to deal with that situation. And then when that situation occurs and arises, and you see that person, you tell them about what you didn't like about that situation, how both of you can work through that situation, how you can move on and move forward from that situation and essentially move on with your life. But the aspect of the matter is to control your emotions and understand your emotions and understand how far your emotions can take you, because sometimes in this life people will do things that may aggravate you, they make you angry, they try to hurt you, so to speak, and you have to be the individual to think, because it's easier to get into trouble than getting out of trouble. And at the end of the day, if you are an individual who you feel that you are valuable and you feel like you have something enormous that you bring to this life, your passion or your purpose, there is strategic ways of how you have to go through things in this life, because everybody is not on the same level in this life. Some people care about their lives, some people care about the impact that they make, some people care about their reputation and their image, some people care about the heights that they can reach in this life and want to see themselves do more in this life and be more. And there's others who do not care. They don't care about themselves, they don't care about their life, they don't care about who they affect, they do not care about anything. And those who do not care about anything may try to seek to destroy those who care about themselves, who care about their life, care about the changes that they want to make in their own personal life. So we have to understand, in every dynamic in this life, it's about using our minds and thinking it through. You may get into relationships, and the relationships that you may get into with people, you have to understand that everybody was not raised the same, everyone was not brought up the same, and we have to understand that at the end, everyone is going to have their own thought processes with doing things and dealing with things, and essentially know who you're dealing with. Because if you do not know who you're dealing with early, at the end of the day, you can deal with somebody that can cause turmoil in your personal life. And peace of mind is the greatest thing to have, and you lose peace of mind when you start dealing with people, places, and things that you're not supposed to be around, that you're not supposed to even be indulging in. And at the end of the day, this is where you have emotional control, because sometimes you may deal with people in this life, whether it be friends, partners, associates, everything, and those people may have quote unquote memories with you, and those memories may seem good at that given moment and that given time period. But as you see yourself elevating and you see yourself following your passions and your pursuits and your purpose, you'll start to realize that some people are not meant to be on the same path and journey as you, and you're meant to elevate in your own personal life. And sometimes you may be fearful, you may be sad, you may be alone, and you want to bring those people with you on your mission, on your path, and your journey. But those people may not want to go with you on your mission, on your path to your journey. Some people are comfortable in living how they want to live, and they're fine with that. And you want to elevate yourself and elevate your life. You have to understand that at the end of the day, everybody doesn't want or like the same things. We have to take emotion out of these things, because if we continue to live with the emotions of these situations instead of doing what needs to be done in order for us to elevate as people, we have to understand that it can be detrimental. In this life, every decision is an important decision. And if we take emotion out of the decisions that we decide to make in this life, we can make more accurate decisions that help our lives in the long run. You may not see it right now, but in the future, you may see your life changing tremendously through the changes that you decide to make in your own personal life. Proverbs 15:18. A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger quiets contention. Proverbs 29:11. A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. Understand, in this life today, you're going to deal with many various situations in this life. Understand yourself, understand your emotions, control your emotions, learn how to control your emotions, and understand that there's going to be people who want to see a reaction out of you, who want to see you down and out, who want to see you be a failure, so to speak. But you have the ability to strive, to move on, to move ahead, to move forward in this life today. I want to thank you for watching. Peace.